We're going to start this meeting off with our pledge to the flag and a prayer. So if y'all all stand for both of those, Chairman Reedy will lead us. Thank you all for joining us. And thank you, Representative Travis, for joining us. Any personal orders today? Chairman Grills.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And as Kyle's walking in here right now, y'all can see that he has a trophy in his hand. And for those of y'all who were not outside, that's because the House was victorious over the Senate in the corn shelling contest. And that's a... This will be displayed during budget negotiations, I'm certain.
Proudly.
But in all serious, well, I was serious, but I also would like to introduce my parents, my mom and dad there for 41 years. Jack Grills to the left and my mom there to his left. They are responsible for me, good, bad, or ugly. They are responsible. So if y'all have anything to tell them, you'll have your chance after this meeting.
They had their hands full, I'm sure. Any other personal orders? Okay, seeing none. We have no items on our calendar today, but we have several presentations and some visitors here that are going to be speaking to us today. So without objection, we will go out of order to hear from them. We're out of order, or out of session, excuse me. Somebody's liable to be out of order. And first on our list, we have the 2022 and 23 Tennessee Future Farmers of America State Secretary Faith Cook. If you'll come up to one of the chairs there and pull the microphone close to you, turn the on-off button on till you see the red light, and we'd love for you to address us.
Thank you. There we go. Thank you. As you mentioned, my name is Faith Cook, and I am the recently retired Tennessee FFA State Secretary. I'm honored to be with you all today. That said, I have a few words that I would like to share with you about the importance of agriculture in our great state. I believe in the future of agriculture, with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. Achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturists. These words are from the FFA Creed, that stands as the basis for what our organization believes. Agriculture is the backbone of the United States, and Tennessee is leading the nation in this industry. Because of the achievements of the present and past generations of agriculturists, we have reached a point where our economic impact in the agriculture industry is over $81 billion a year, making it the highest producing industry in our great state. This is a proud accomplishment, but it couldn't have been done without the farmers and the agriculturists in our great industry. In Tennessee, we have over 350,000 Tennesseans employed in the agriculture industry alone. This helps us lead the nation in the agriculture industry. However, while we may know that agriculture is vital to our success, many people underestimate its significance. And this is where agriculture education comes into play. Through FFA and agriculture education, we're able to work with 7th through 12th grade students in the state of Tennessee to show them the significance and the power of Tennessee agriculture and what we can do in it. We're showing them job opportunities and career opportunities, whether they decide to go to college, a career and technical school, or go straight into the workforce. These students have a great opportunity to learn, but it's only due to the people who came before them. That said, if you do work in agriculture, if you have worked in agriculture, or if you play any role, such as being a teacher, a legislator, or anything in between, thank you for your hard work. Thank you for paving a way for the future of agriculture to find their next success in the coming years. Your work does not go unnoticed. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. You guys give us a lot of hope for our future. Thank you. Next, we have the 2022 and 23 Tennessee 4-H State Council President, Hadley Brown. Got an on-off button there. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to join you. My name is Hadley Brown, and I am from just north of Nashville in Sumner County. I have been a part of the 4-H program for the past 10 years of my life. So I wanted to start out by giving you a timeline of what my experience in 4-H and in agriculture has looked like. When I was 9 years old, like many youth just getting involved in 4-H, I started raising chickens. I was traced across my backyard by a really mean rooster when I was 9, and so I gave up on that one pretty quick, but I did not give up on 4-H. So then I switched over, and I won the county public speaking contest 2 years later when I was 11. By the age of 13, I was stepping out of my comfort zone for the very first time, and I went to the University of Tennessee at Knoxville for a week for a program called Academic Conference. I was there to learn about citizenship, and I fell absolutely in love. 2 years later, I continued my citizenship journey, and I ran to be the Tennessee 4-H Congress governor. This was the first state-level leadership position that I had ever held, and once again, I fell more and more in love with it. By the age of 17, I started traveling around the world with Tennessee 4-H. Last summer, we went to Hawaii to explore their agriculture programs. In January, we joined the American Farm Bureau conference in Puerto Rico. I've been to Denver, Colorado, and Washington, D.C. to public speak and to learn more about agriculture that happens all around the world. Today, I stand before you at the age of 18, not as a youth anymore, but as an empowered young adult that is ready to take on anything that this world can throw at me. I started to share with you today that I'm not a traditional ag student. I am from Hendersonville. I did not grow up on a large commercial farming operation, but then I stopped myself because what is a traditional agriculture kid? Agriculture affects everyone in this world, and so every student and every child should have the opportunity to be a part of the programming that affects our everyday life. In this audience before you, you see not only the youth that are going to be leading our world tomorrow, but you see the best friends that I've ever made, all because of this industry, and that starts right here with you all. I want to thank you for your continued support of youth in agriculture and 4-H programs that build students into the leaders that will lead our communities today, tomorrow, and forever. The best part, by far, of my story is that it is not unique at all. My story is one that 136,000 4-H youth across the state share, and so many more will share for years and years to come. 4-H did not make a difference in my life. It made the difference in my life. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time and all that you do.
Thank you. Please. Ms. Brown, I know we have some questions for you. Chairman Grills, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Hadley, I know you're somewhat, I know you got to be proud of this, but would you like to tell everyone what you just got accepted to?
If you're ever contemplating putting your kid in 4-H program, last Thursday I was accepted and I have committed to go to Harvard University. So that's where 4-H gets you.
Yeah, it is. Well, we're so excited for you and for those, the efforts you've put forth and the hard work you've put forth to see. Just don't let, make sure you keep those Tennessee values, those Tennessee roots, and that worldview that comes from our Bible, okay?
I'll be back. There's no worry about it. But come August, you'll find me in Cambridge.
Would you
so.
also please introduce your fellow 4-H'ers here and the great Justin Crow so everyone knows who he is?
Absolutely. He needs no introduction, right? So the state 4-H leader, Justin Crow, and then this is Maddie, Lacey, Hope, Cade. You already met Faith. This is Delia. Dr. Carver, of course, fearless leader of the University of Tennessee Institute of Agriculture, and then Clay, and then my very special guest today is my mother, Jill Brown. And Gabe Harville in the very back. He can wave at everybody. Give a big howdy. There you go. Thank you. We also want to share with you that for each of the representatives, as a token of our appreciation, we have a gift for you full of all of the great 4-H swag. So if you want to stop by and see us after the session concludes, then feel free, or we'll come up to your office. So thank
Wonderful. Thank you. I was a 4-H'er growing up as well, so I didn't make it as far as you did, but you've been very successful, and we're very proud of you and all the folks that came with you. Your classmates are very impressive to us. We really appreciate you being here. Any other questions for our guests? Okay, thank you so much today. Next, we have the National... Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Faith, you want to come back up and either microphone and introduce the FFA folks here. Thank you.
Yes, so for sure. We have some awesome people here with us today. So I'm going to start right over here with Jay Caldwell. He is one of my teammates. So he was recently retired from the East Tennessee State Vice President. We have Tara Davis, who is one of our regional coordinators. Hannah Madel, who is another one of my teammates. She served as the Middle Tennessee State Vice President this past year. And these people have been awesome. And Jarrett Tubbs, I'm so sorry, he's in the back corner also. He was one of my teammates as well, serving as the West Tennessee State Vice President. I'm very thankful for all that these people have done for me. And thank you for allowing us to come before you today.
Thank you. And at this time, we have the National Junior Hereford Board Member, Libby Russian, here. If you'll join us. So glad to have you with us today. We have a lot of award winners here with us today. This is so impressive. You're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman Todd and members of the House Agriculture and Natural Resource Committee for this opportunity and for your support of Ag Day on the Hill. Agriculture, the only industry this world cannot live without. Let me say that again. Cannot live, survive, exist without. In a world that so often overlooks the importance of our industry, I could not be more proud to speak up for it. Good morning. My name is Libby Rushton, and I'm a proud product of and an active participant in Tennessee agriculture. I was blessed to be born and raised on a fourth-generation family farm in Waverly, Tennessee. My family row crops approximately 1,500 acres of corn and soybeans and also maintains a small herd of commercial cattle along with our registered Hereford herd. It has been my joy for the past 12 plus years to show Hereford cattle all over the country along with my sister Emma and our parents Lee and Andrea Rushton. Through this activity, my love for the agriculture community has only deepened. It has been my honor to serve in several positions within the Tennessee and National Junior Hereford Associations, including spending 2 years as our Tennessee Junior Hereford Association president, followed by serving the past 3 years on the National Junior Hereford Association Board of Directors. Sadly, my career as a junior showman will be ending at the end of this calendar year. I want to say thank you to the House Ag Committee, Tennessee Cattlemen's Association, 4-H, National FFA Organization, Tennessee Farm Bureau, all Tennessee breed associations, fairs, cattle shows, and anyone else that I don't have the time to name today for supporting a farm kid like me. It is truly the foundation of who I am today. When I look around me, and especially when I turn on the news, there is no doubt that many in our country do not recognize the importance of this life. The agriculture that I love so dearly is being attacked by many sides in our world today. Many organizations and the general public do not understand our way of life, and it is our job as representatives of this industry to educate the world around us of its significance. On my family farm, I was taught the values of honesty, integrity, responsibility, and hard work. Based upon many events in our world today, it is clear that many have missed learning these simple life lessons. No matter where my life may take me, I know these values will serve me well. It is my desire to build upon my past and use my voice for the agriculture industry in the future. I'm currently a senior at the University of Tennessee at Martin, where I will soon finish my undergraduate studies in agriculture business, along with minors in political science and business administration. I've also recently begun my master's program in strategic communications. It is my desire to put my education and life lessons to work by using my voice to stand up for the ag industry in either the political or public relations field. Agriculture has literally offered me everything. It has taught me of God and country in my small rural community. It has brought me together with people who've become my mentors, and it has brought me my lifelong friends. It has afforded me financial help to further my education, and most importantly, it has made me the young woman who stands before you today. My sole desire for my future is to give back to the industry that has given everything to me. I want to conclude today by asking all of my fellow Livestock Achievement winners to please stand. I know that each and every one of us are so thankful for the opportunities, friendships, and connections that this industry has given us, and I thank God daily for blessing me with this life. Thank you again for your efforts on behalf of Tennessee agriculture. There is no greater cause that I wish to help further than this one. Thank you again for your time and continued support.
Thank you, Ms. Rushton. We have one question for you, I think, at least. Chairman Reedy, you're recognized.
Miss Libby, stay right there. And of course, before I got elected, I met this awesome farming family. I'm proud of you. Is your mother and father in this room?
My dad's back there. I think my mom's right over here.
All right, make them stand up and introduce themselves. It's because of this young lady. Where she's going is because of these people.
Thank you all for being here with us. You want to go and introduce the award winners that just stood up for us?
Okay, so I'm actually going to let all of them introduce themselves.
That'd be
We are
great.
from all different parts of the state and different species of livestock. So I want to let them introduce themselves so I don't get anything wrong. So if you guys want to go around and introduce yourselves.
My name is Grace Powell. I'm from Watertown, Tennessee. I'm currently the president-elect of the American Junior Hampshire Sheep Association.
I'm Kara Brooks. I'm from Smith County, Tennessee, and I'm winning third overall showmanship.
Good morning, I'm Gracie Giles, and I'm from Anderson County, Tennessee, and I exhibited the 2022 Grand Champion Shorthorn Plus Market Steer at the Shorthorn Junior Nationals in Kansas City, Missouri.
I'm Bauer Birch. I'm from Rutherford County, and I exhibited the Senior Champion Ram from the Indiana State Fair.
I'm Skylar Birch. I'm from Rutherford County, and I'm proudly representing the Junior American Hampshire Association. Good morning, everyone. My name is Caroline Gerald. I serve on the American Junior Black Hereford Association Board as secretary, and this past summer, I was the champion intermediate junior showman.
Hey guys, I'm Walter Housley. I'm from Dayton, Tennessee, and I'm your Vice President of Leadership on the American Junior Simmental Association.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joel Leonard. I'm from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. I serve as your at-large director for the American Key Association.
Hello, everyone. I'm Haley Ferguson from Eagleville, Tennessee, and I'm currently serving as a board of director for the American Junior Shorthorn Association.
My name is Lily Lightner. I'm from Clayton,
I'm Rob Lovely, and I exhibited the Grand Champion Key Angus Junior National.
Hi, I'm Allison Davis. I'm from Shelbyville, Tennessee, and I exhibited the Grand Champion Bred Known Heifer at the National Junior Angus Show and the Reserve Champion Bred Known Cow Calf Fair.
Hi, my name is Camden, and I got a vlog and stuff and summer show.
I believe that's everyone.
All right. Very proud to have you guys with us and proud that you're from Tennessee. Representative Travis, you're recognized.
This is to Mr. Housley. I'm Ron Travis from Dayton, Tennessee.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you. And at this time, we have our University of Tennessee Institute of Agriculture Senior Vice Chancellor, Mr. Keith Carver, here with us to say a few words. He hails from, at least most recently, from West Tennessee, and very proud to have him here with us. Can you hit the microphone on and off button there? Should light up red.
There we go.
Perfect, thanks.
Chairman Todd, thank you so much. Members of the House, thank you so much for being here today. I tell you, placement on the agenda is everything. You've heard from leaders from 4-H, leaders from FFA, leaders from junior livestock, and so you've seen the thoroughbreds this morning. Now you're coming up on the rented mule who's about to be put out to pasture. Such an honor to be here, and really what I'm here to do today is thank you. This is the first time in my 26 years at UT that I've worked with an organization that impacts every home in every city, in every church, in every business across this great state in 95 counties, and that's agriculture. And it's a position I take very seriously. I'm 1 month in on the job, but already just amazed at the impact that the Institute for Agriculture has across the state of Tennessee. But really today, I'm here just to thank you all. We've seen unprecedented support from you, from the legislature, from the governor's office, and we're very grateful. Want to point out three things just immediately, but the $50 million that you granted us to invest into ag research and get those facilities up to snuff, we're grateful for that. It's needed. It's money well spent. Research is something you think about and you think it's esoteric, but truly the research that our faculty and staff are able to do is not just research we just hold to ourselves, but it's research that we push out to the communities and to the producers and the farmers and the educators, and it impacts our future, and our future's bright. I also want to thank you for the $2.9 million recurring for the College of Veterinary Medicine. We've got to produce more vets in this state, and we've got a 5-year plan to increase the number of students studying in Knoxville at the vet school by 41%, and that's going to be possible because of the recurring money that you all granted us. And finally, certainly not last but not least, it's $2 million that you all allocated that we're going to be able to deploy out to extension in our rural counties and really work on getting those extension offices staffed up, getting them resourced to the area where they're helping our most distressed Tennesseans where they serve. So I am so grateful to be here representing the Institute for Agriculture, but I'm so appreciative for all that you've done for agriculture in the state, and we'll continue to do our part. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Carver. You obviously know the value in a 3-point sermon. Thank you, sir. We have Chairman Darby has a question for you.
Yes, first, I want to thank everybody for coming. As me and Chris was talking, we have to listen to in a lot of committees to know that there's still hope with you bright minds.
Amen.
It's an uplifting, feel-good moment for us. To Mr. Carver, we hate to let him go in West Tennessee. He was such an asset, but look forward to what you can do for this state in the future.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Chairman Grill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Dr. Carver, it's so good to have you here today. But as a Tennessee farmer and the farmers across the state, they look to UT Extension for lots of guidance, and it's revered as one of the prime extension agencies in the extension programs in the country. And the commitment, I just want you to reiterate the commitment that you have to make sure that Tennessee stays at the top, and that is never going to be taken for granted.
Absolutely, and Representative Grills, it's an excellent point. And with extension being in all 95 counties, we also realize that our extension offices and agents, it's not a one-size-fits-all. What works in one county, what might work in Shelby County, might not work in Lake County. And so to be able to make sure that we're in touch with the needs of the community, be that front door, not just for the University of Tennessee, but for the state and all the resources that the state offers our citizens, we know Extension is going to be critically important now, but also in the future. And you have my commitment to make sure we've got the strongest Extension program we can have. Thank you.
Just one follow-up here. I asked that for your commitment. Now, what do you need from us to help you make sure that it is followed through and not just overlooked?
Well, you all are doing it right now. I talked about those recurring investments you've made into us, whether it be through ag research, whether it be through Extension or College of Veterinary Medicine. Just continue as we bring you real solutions to state problems, that you'll partner with us in helping make sure that those new priorities are realities. But we also know there's accountability there too. And so we want to make sure we're using the state dollars and maximizing that. So when you talk about Extension, one quick stat, we do know for every investment of every dollar into UT Extension, the return on that investment is $8.29 in the state. So that's important, and we want to continue to grow that, and you all should count on us to do that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Speaker Marsh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Dr. Carver, welcome. And I wanted to ask you about, I think you're going to receive around $12 million from the ARP funds for a meat processing facility. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. It's we're calling it the Protein Innovation Center. It's going to, obviously, in beef manufacturing, there's a real need for that in processing, but there's also an economic development piece of that where we're actually going to be able to have students and faculty working on research projects, but also we can train meat cutters, which we certainly need across the state. So it's going to be great for research, great for economic development, but also job training. So very grateful for that new amount that's coming in from the state. Thank you.
Well, Chancellor, we appreciate you being here with us, sir. Thank you. And Mr. Representative Wright.
Representative Wright. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You'll notice I'm here with my cell phone number. I'm from Knox County.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm a member of this committee, and I had other appointments, but I'm in Knox County. There's my cell phone number. I need to be in your office in support of this committee.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll use it.
We've talked on the phone, but this is the first time he's seen me.
That's right.
Thank you for that. And I will say, for the audience's benefit, many of our members have other committee commitments. We're having to go in and out to present bills, and so they're coming in as they can and joining us. But thank you, sir. I think that's all the questions we have, but appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you all.
We have a very special guest with us here today. Congressman John Rose has joined us for this special Ag Day, and if you'll step up to the podium, sir, we'd love to hear a few words from you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, Chairman Todd and members of the Ag Committee. It's a privilege always to have the opportunity to be here with you and be here on such an auspicious day, and enjoyed the festivities earlier and go House, right, I guess. It is my great honor to represent the 6th District of Tennessee in the U.S. House, and earlier this year was fortunate to join the Ag Committee in the U.S. House, and of all years in a Farm Bill year, so looking forward to being able to impact the 2023 Farm Bill in a way that will be good for Tennessee farmers and American farmers all across our country. I commend this committee for what you do, the important work that you do, and I feel like I am a symbiotic spirit with you in terms of the work that we have to do in Washington. I hope everyone on this committee and your staffs will feel free to reach out to me and my staff as we work on formulating the 2023 Farm Bill, and share with us the issues that you are aware of that need to be addressed at the federal level. It's great to see all of the folks here in attendance today. As a former FFA member and 4-H member, I commend you for what you do to recognize these groups and support them, and hope you will keep up that effort. And so I won't start mentioning friends I see on the dais, because then I would leave somebody out, but lots of great friends, and it's good to see you. As you all know, I think most of you, I am a farmer, and I consider that to be my first pursuit in life, and am blessed to be the custodian of a 233-year family farm legacy going back to 1790. And I've got 2 young sons. I hope that they get to follow in my footsteps and maintain that family legacy. But I know that they won't be successful unless you all do what needs to be done to make sure that agriculture in our state can continue to thrive. So I challenge you to do the right things, and I know you will, and I commend you for the great work that you do. And thank you, Chairman Todd, for the opportunity to address the group today.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here with us. And you bring a point up that one of the young ladies alluded to a while ago. Farming was here before the state of Tennessee was here, quite frankly. So it's our foundation, and we appreciate your family's contribution to that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have a Robertson County farmer, Willis Jepson, to speak with us today. Welcome, sir. Just come up to the podium, make sure the red light's on. You're free to sit or stand, either one. That'll be perfect. There's an on-off button there, and you might need to scoot that microphone close to you.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Chairman, committee, my name is Willis Jepson. I live up in Robertson County. I'm a 7th-generation farmer, and whenever Andy Holt and Matt McClanahan called and asked me, I didn't realize I was going to have to speak behind all these effective speakers and award winners. I'm just a farmer, and I reckon that's what they wanted me to speak with y'all today. But I would like to introduce, I've brought 3 generations of farmers from my family with us today. My parents, William and Terry, my wife, Brittany, and the 8th generation, our sons, Mac and Jack. But I was asked to speak to you a little bit today about what's going on the farm. On our farm, we're a diversified crop farm. We're farming about 7,500 acres up on the state line in Robertson and Sumner counties and over into the edge of Kentucky. Our family has been in that area farming since 1806, and today we're carrying that tradition on. We're growing corn and soybeans and wheat. We still raise dark tobacco. We've recently began diversifying more into watermelons and pumpkins. But I was asked to speak a little bit to conservation efforts of farmers today. We face a lot of uncertainties in our business. It's really, I guess, we spend thousands of dollars an acre putting out a crop and pray that it rains, and that's not a real good business model. It's crazy, really. But on our farm, we live by the words that, we use conservation today for a better tomorrow. And that's what I'm trying to raise my children as the next generation to know that we're the caretakers of the land. And if we take care of the land, it'll take care of us. And it's, as many of you know, we've degraded the soils in our state over the last century with our farming practices. But today, farmers across the state are utilizing cost share monies from the state and the federal level. On our farm, if it's got an acronym and they were willing to give us some money to try something new, we've pretty much done it. But we are truly regenerating our soils through no-till agriculture, through cover crops. And our conservation districts play an integral role. The University of Tennessee plays an integral role in that, and bringing technology and helping us, the ones of us that find ourselves on the bleeding edge of technology. It can be costly, so these cost share programs are very important to us. A few years back, we farm on the Red River in Robertson County, and I was working on a farm, working in a field, and TDEC crew was there. There was an older guy and a young fellow with him. And so I got off the tractor and went over and spoke to them. And so I just asked him, I said, what's the story on our river here? And the older man told me he was getting ready to retire, and I think he was actually training his replacement. And he said that the Red River was the cleanest it had been in his career. And so knowingly, I knew the answer, but I asked, why is that? And he said, well, it's because of no-till farming. And so that makes me proud as a community of farmers that we are affecting our community and our environment in a positive way. The practices that we are implementing on our farm, we're sequestering carbon through no-till. We're promoting soil health, and through those methods that we're using, we're protecting the groundwater at the same time. Today's farm is not my grandfather's farm at all. It's highly advanced technologically. We will employ 10 full-time employees, and in the height of summer harvest, we'll have over 100 H2A workers on our farm. So most of our neighbors don't understand the complexity of running a business of this nature with the kind of capital. It's very capital intensive, and having access to capital, that's something that's really a barrier to entry for these young people that we just heard from today. So we're facing all of these different things in the world that are going on that are affecting our markets. Like I said, we still have to get the crop out. We still have to pray that it rains, and then whatever they do in Ukraine and China or Washington, D.C. or Nashville, Tennessee affects all of that greatly. So it's there's all these things that are coming on us, and some days it feels like our boat's taking on more water than we feel like we can get rid of, right? We've all been there. But I would like to end today with something that I don't know, you might not have expected a farmer to talk about today, but this whole issue of land use. Being in Robertson County, we are adjacent to metropolitan Nashville, Robertson County touching Davidson County. We're losing farmland at an alarming rate in our state. I believe the state of Tennessee has we're third in land loss in the nation. There are only 2 other states that are losing farmland faster than the state of Tennessee. And as a generational farmer, that worries me greatly, because as other previous speakers have alluded to earlier, agriculture built our state. It built my community as it built many of your communities. I don't know that we're prepared as rural communities and rural counties to take on this influx of people that are coming to our areas. I sit on our local Robertson County Economic Development Board, so I get it. We have to balance our neighbors, and we have to balance industry and good paying jobs, but at what cost? At what cost do we eat up our farmland? It breaks our hearts, land that I've grown up on all my life, doing everything we can to take care of it. Someone passes away, and before the funeral, they've got it platted out in 5-acre lots. We call it the last crop. We are eating up this farmland. It is so important to our rural community, to our farm families, to our state, to our nation, and the world. And we have to address that. We can't just sit here and say, well, I'm sorry you live in a bad area where there's a lot of development and people want to live here. We have to be proactive, and we have to act to save farmland. The great orator William Jennings Bryan, in a group many years ago, told them that if we take our farms away, our cities will die. But if we leave the farms and the cities go away, the cities will come back. And no truer words have ever really been spoken. And I just encourage each of you today to remember that, this farmer came in here and talked about what they do and how they do it, and let's all pat ourselves on the back. But the reality of the situation, I was reading just the other day about the Ford plant in West Tennessee, and the sentiment was, it's just farmland. there has to be something better we can do with it than for it to be farmland. Now, obviously, as a farmer, I have a problem with that, but I have a long enough view to see that it's not just farmland. It's more than that. It's national security. Do we want to grow our own food, or do we want to import our food? Do we want to have a group like OPEC telling us next week we're going to cut back your food production? I mean, you know, it is what it is. But I appreciate the time today, and I hope you will take my words into consideration about farmland loss and land use and establishing better guidelines for how we're going to have development in rural areas.
Yeah, stay right there. We're going to also have Emmy Armstrong come up. She's from Greene County, and join you, and then we'll hear from her, and then have some questions from our members about what you guys have to say to us. We also had Eric Dupree from Crockett County that was supposed to be with us, but because of the storm damage he sustained, he is not able to be here today. So we'll continue to remember him and his neighbors in our prayers. So, Ms. Armstrong, we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Am I on?
I think you might pull it a little bit closer to you.
Okay, can
Perfect.
you hear me now?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here today. I am not like the young folks behind me. I did not grow up on a farm, and I am not even actually from the state of Tennessee, but I can say that there is no greater place to be than on a farm in Tennessee. My husband and I, we own and operate Horse Creek Farms in Chuckey, Tennessee. That's in Greene County, and we operate a dairy farm. Our farm was established in 1778, so that was before Tennessee was even a state. So like they were saying that, you know, Tennessee was built and founded on agriculture. So we also farm with my children who are here, and I'm so proud for them to be here today because they're going to have so much more opportunity than I did starting as a young age. And seeing the other parents in here, and they have their children who have accomplished so much, it makes me really excited. I kind of feel like Oliver Wendell Douglas from Green Acres, like the American farmer. So my husband, Scott, and then our 3 children. Do y'all want to stand up? That's Wade, the baby. And then Andrew, and then Harper. She's down there somewhere. But anyways, so I am just, you know, like him, just a farmer. I have an associate's degree. I don't have any fantastic awards. I've served on some committees and some boards, but I'm really proud to be a farmer in Tennessee today. So on our farm, we are diversified. We're diversified a little bit different than some of the other farms. We do some hay and some row crops, but we're also opening a creamery. So like he was mentioning, the farmland is going at an unprecedented rate. Children and the young people are not wanting to come back to the farm. There's no money. They can't make a living. They can't. 2 generations barely can provide for their families, or 1 generation alone, let alone bringing 2 generations back on the farm. So it's really important for us to build something that we can pass down to our children, that they're going to want to come back, that they're not going to say, well, I can make more money doing this or doing that, and then what happens to the farm? It has to be maintained. We're a dairy. Someone's got to be there, and so thank you to my father-in-law for milking for us today. So we are doing a creamery. We're going to start with ice cream, and then we are going to do a process. Yes, you like ice cream. We're going to do, process our own milk and make that available. I know the farm grant had just come out, and we're working with the grant writer to apply for that. It is so important because of the supply chain issues and things that are going on to have more local options, so that when
something, and it will come, something will come again for us to be able to continue to feed our community and our neighbors and our families. So we've got the creamery going on. Ag education is my passion. So I did not grow up on a farm. I did not have all of those experiences. So the more kids that I can bring out and share those experiences with and let them know where their food comes from, I'll say from Parlor to Publix, like how, you know, when they go pick up their milk, they know how it got there. They know that we care about them, we care about the land, and we care about our families and our communities and getting a safe product out there. And it doesn't matter if you, we do hope that they buy local, but if they buy local or they buy at the grocery store, whether they're buying from the farmer, that their beef and their milk and their poultry and pork, it's all safe. Everything is safe for them to consume for their families, no matter how much money they make or that they, you know, don't make. I know that was like a big thing. They were attacking people, saying that it was better for farm, you know, healthier, safer for buying from the farmer, but it's tastier, but it's all safe for everybody. And that's what we want to do, is to sustain a safe food supply. So with the ag tourism and the field trips and the ag education, we wanted to teach them that we're being sustainable. Farmers are the best stewards of the land, and we're doing all that we can. We're recycling our water for our manure pit, which fertilizes our fields, which grows the corn and the hay that our cows are eating. We're using low-till to no-till to plant our crops. And my husband, he actually works a full-time job at West Hills Tractor. He is precision farming specialist, and with the new technology and everything that we have today, farmers are so much smarter than anyone gives us credit for, and we're doing all that we can, feeding more people on less land every day. So I think that it's important to teach people and let them know we don't need more regulations. In fact, we don't need unrealistic regulations. We need more realistic solutions to real problems that we're facing every day. So I want to thank you all so much for, again, being here, for allowing my family to come, for allowing my children to be a part of this, and for all that you all do to help our farms with the ag enhancement and the farm grants and everything that Tennessee does to help their farmers. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you being here and for what your family is providing. And I know Chairman Grills was giddy about the ice cream, I can tell you.
Yes, please come visit us.
Chairman Grills, you're recognized.
I also enjoy Green Acres, Miss Lisa Douglas.
Yes.
You brought up the point about the food security, and a few years ago when COVID hit us, middle western parts of our country, where all the packing plants are, they shut down. And beef became, there was a shortage of beef. And over the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about different things in Tennessee, what we can do. But that is so why it's so imperative that we depend on Tennesseans for our own food. And I appreciate the effort you're putting forth to raise your own food and provide food there for your part of the world. And I just don't want to get to the point where we don't want to depend on other countries, but yet I don't even want to depend on other states, because we have such an abundant supply of what we need here in Tennessee. And I just applaud people like yourself and others that go that extra mile and think outside the box and do different things. Then, Willis, what you were talking about with the land use and all, over in West Tennessee, land values are going to do this. When land values do that, property taxes on those land values go out the roof. And the farmer or the landowner is going to get to the point where they're going to have to do something, because the tax base is so high and the tax burden is so high that that the rent that they're receiving off of the crops is a net loss. I mean, I don't know, this may be a time for another conversation or a starter for another conversation, but these things are real. And do you have any advice for us going forward, how we can handle that, or maybe even address some of the issues that you brought up?
Well, Rusty and the ones of you that know me, I could sit here and talk about these topics all day long. But, I mean, there have been studies that have shown, when we talk about property taxes, that the services used by homes, the dollars that I'm sure y'all are aware, you know, a homeowner pays $1 in property tax. They use something like, and I'm not a research analyst, $1.40 or $1.50. So for every dollar they pay in, somebody's spending upwards of $1.50 on them, right? Schools, fire protection, police protection, roads, infrastructure. agriculture pays in $1 and it's like 50 to 60 cents. When the farmer pays, when we pay taxes, you're netting money. So, you know, as I said, I sit on our economic development board, and I get it. We need, you know, you need growth. But it's a lot akin to we need some inflation, but we can't take too much at one time. So, in our area especially, you know, people talk with me about property taxes, and I tell people I'm in favor of a subdivision and putting the houses as close together as possible. You know, put 20 houses on a 5-acre lot, not one. Make the developers that come in, a lot of the developers that are coming in and doing the developing, they're not even local. And we let them come in and we let them make all this money, and they leave. And then they look to farmers like us and say, oh, they got all this land. You know, they ought to pay more in tax. So at the end of the day, that's the take-home message, is we can't put our farmers and our farms at risk just so we can have someone move in here and build them a nice house. We can't be expected to pay the taxes, to hire the teachers, to build the buildings, to hire the police, to hire all these services, to build the roads. There should be user fees. There should be zoning laws, impact fees, and the developers that come in here, they can pass that cost along. If you decide as a body that there should be a user fee or permits for upgrades to infrastructure, what do? They just pass that along to the homeowner. That's a luxury that we don't have. We get told what we're going to pay for our inputs. We get told what we're going to get paid for our output. And we have no say in any of that. And we have to figure it out. And so I implore you guys and the people that work with you to get to work and figure this out, because we're going to turn around twice. My county, Robertson County, is probably, I mean, we're probably toast if we're going to be honest about it, because there's lack of planning. And somebody has to push the envelope and say, hey, we have to have a plan. We cannot just allow people to move in here and eat up our farmland 5 acres at a time. Or we will be importing our food at first from another state, and then eventually we'll be getting it from a third world country because of the cheap labor.
Thank you for that, sir. And we're going to rely on you and folks then in your industry to bring those ideas to us, to share them with us, and then we'll figure out how it fits in the whole scheme of things, because extremely important topics that we need answers to. And so you're the experts, and so we certainly are relying on you guys for that. Representative Vital, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for being here. If there is one committee that is sympathetic more than you can ever comprehend to your cause and your livelihood, it's this committee. And Mr. Chairman, thank you for your leadership on agriculture issues and preservation of our land. As someone who has fought long and hard for land and farmland preservation, who has been active in voluntary conservation easements, put my farm in a conservation easement so that the next generation and future generations beyond me would know that that would always be farmland. It was one of the most moving moments of my life when I came back after signing that easement on that farmland and knowing that it would always remain this way beyond my family and beyond someone else. But we are losing farmland. 2,000 acres a day across this country we are losing in farmland. It's to the issues we just talked about. It's about our protection of our food supply and the protection of our future as a country and a nation. So I applaud you for being here. Thank you for bringing up these issues. I would hope that maybe next year, as we look at some of these things, we must balance agriculture and commerce, the two words mentioned in our state seal. But always remember, agriculture comes first. Thank you.
No doubt.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments for our presenters? Again, we thank you for what you do for us, and we thank you for keeping our food supply healthy and strong and safe. And can't thank you enough for just that contribution to each one of our lives and our families' lives. So I appreciate you being here with us. Also, at this time, I want to recognize Mr. Eric Mayberry. He's just began his second term as the president of the Tennessee Farm Bureau. He's from Humphreys County, and he and his wife Lynn are just celebrating their new status as grandparents. So if you want to step up and say a few words to us at the podium, you're welcome to, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that recognition. I think maybe grandparent may be the highest honor of my life. At least it is this week anyway, for sure. But just a privilege to be here today and celebrate agriculture and all that you as legislators do and recognizing these young people in our future. That just means tremendous amount to all of us across agriculture. And we work hard every day at Farm Bureau to represent agriculture in every way we possibly can. And certainly young folks coming up is a high priority for us. But just could not be happier to be here today. Appreciate you letting us be here. And good to see livestock and good food products up on the lawn up there, and I appreciate your participation, and always know that Farm Bureau can help in any way. We're always willing to do so. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Chairman Grills, I think, may have another introduction or two.
I just wanted to, Matthew McClanahan over in the far right corner, he's just been a longtime friend of mine and a friend of our family, and good to see you today, and I don't get to see you very often, but I do appreciate all you do. Brian Flowers, right over here, he's a farmer here in Middle Tennessee. Thank you for all you do and knowing you and putting up with the friendships of other mutual friends that we have for so many years. And Dr. Hatcher, thank you for being here today and for always having a listening ear, or welcoming ear and listening ear, and just being a good person to seek advice from. And outside of that, I'm going to just quit naming people because I'm going to start missing them.
Well, thank you. Any other comments or questions or anything from our members? If not, then we thank all of you for being here today, and we will go back in session. We're back in session. And again, thank you so much for being here to celebrate this Ag Day with us here, and appreciate you especially joining us here in the House Ag Committee, and look forward to seeing you back again. Representative Reedy, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And of course, with the audience that we have here today, and of course, it was at dinner last night, we had a discussion and talking about, and I would like to extend to anyone in the audience, come next year when the session begins in January, if you would like to make a presentation in front of this body early on, questions, concerns, something that you think that we need to hit on, and of course, Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, they're always with us. Commissioner Hatcher with Department of Agriculture. I mean, we're visiting all the time, as well as our local farmers that are coming up with the ideas that we need to bring, if it requires legislation, and of course it was one of the bills we have is Meat Products Act, talking about let's get Tennessee to inspect our own meat under the auspice of USDA, but 29 other states are doing it and we are not, and hopefully we get to move forward with that. And the reason I bring this up, Mr. Chairman, and of course it's already been through the committee, went through GovOps this week, we'll go to Finance, Ways and Means next week. What we're talking about is, I'm a cattle farmer, fourth generation farmer, and when I sell my cattle, I get paid pennies. The middleman gets the dollars. If we could do the in-state inspections, sell it locally at our farmers markets, just like what we've already heard, if we raise a quality product in the state of Tennessee, we should demand a quality price, and that price is going to help pay the taxes on the farm, help grow the family farm, but also to show these young people, hey, there is life outside of corporate America, that if you love farming, stay in farming. And of course, I bring this up, and my son, who's an IT professional, and he says, Dad, I think when I hit 40, I'll come back to the farm. I said, kid, you're breaking my heart. You know, it's I want you back sooner, because I grew up 4-H, FFA, and matter of fact, went to Austin Peay, got an ag degree. They said, there's no future in it. And I said, you know, I never changed what I wanted to do, and it has served me well serving on this committee, and I love the Agriculture Committee, and I've told a few of my colleagues, I said, if I ever come back up here as an elected official and say, well, you no longer can serve on the Ag Committee, I think I just need to retire. But I'll end it right there, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Any others on the... just a second, sir. We will need to go back out of session. I actually forgot that item, and it wasn't written down, and I forget it if it's not written down. So without objection, we'll go out of session, and we'll hear from the Tennessee State Fair. Thank you, sir.
We would just like to thank you for your support of the Tennessee State Fair. We have completed 2 years. We are trying to showcase agriculture throughout our state, showcase all 95 everyone in this room can be with us for that, because it's a grand time as we have built a building that looks like the state of Tennessee. It has a map of the Tennessee county by county, where all 95 counties participated this past year in Travel Tennessee, and they will be a part of this building for years to come. And so this is your building, it is our state's building, and our 1,000 volunteers are dedicated to promoting agriculture in our state and showcasing our entire state, and we thank you for your support.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Randall. I appreciate that very much. Without objection, we'll go back into session. We are back in session. Any more business before the committee? Well, this is our final meeting this year, subject to the call of the chair, and so without objection, we will be adjourning, subject to the call of the chair. We are adjourned.